Hi, my name is Daniel Hotchkiss, and I'm recording this TED Talk for my communications class. I'm just going to go ahead and open that up for you guys real quick so we can get started. Share screen. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to be giving a TED Talk on nonverbal communication. Let me just put my notes here. Perfect. Let's go out to the next slide. Okay, so what is nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication is, as we see here, the transmission of messages or signals through a nonverbal platform such as eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, posture, and body language. Um, and oftentimes we hear people say that the way that someone behaves in a certain situation can make them feel uncomfortable, even if they're not saying anything. That is what nonverbal communication is. Without any sort of obligatory ties to language, it is by far the most diverse category of language out there. Any way that we use our hands when we speak, the way that we move our eyes, even the way that we sit, cross our legs, arms, our tone of voice, all of that is nonverbal communication. Nonvocal signs, in turn, may draw on sound production and interpretation, as in whistles, clapping, or any other sort of noises, patting on your hand or on your thigh, I mean. Um, and we actually tend to use nonverbal communication a lot more than we think we do. We use it in the workplace, we use it in our relationships with family members and significant others. We use it in church, we use it in school. We're constantly sending a message with the way that we conduct ourselves with our body. So, moving on, I want to talk a little bit about nonverbal communication in the workplace. Um, So, nonverbal communication in the workplace can indicate your understanding of directions, project goals, or assignments from your supervisor or coworkers. I'm sure we've all been in an experience when at one time or another, somebody, whether we were in charge of an assignment or someone was giving us an assignment in the workplace or in a place just where you had work to do, where, like for example, many times my supervisor at work, he'll give me an assignment and I tend to nod my head as he speaks to me, so that he understands that I am understanding the request that he's making from me. Not only that, but I like to make eye contact with him as he speaks to me. That way he knows that I'm looking at him and I'm listening. I'm not staring at my computer while he's talking to me. That may send an indirect message. That's a form of communication. The fact that I'm trying to engage with him as he tries to engage with me with the way that I behave. I don't try to cross my arms and sit back as he talks. I try to make eye contact with him and listen. And, proper eye contact, positive tone of voice, even in the workplace, the way that you comb your hair, the way you dress can be very important. I know, for example, I work in an attorney's office right now, and they had to send out a message to all the staff members with a dress code so that they ensured that we were sending the correct message. And if you're going to be in court, you have to wear a suit and tie. That way, when you appear before the judge, you send the correct message. And when you're meeting in front of clients, you should be wearing, the men at least, should be wearing button-up, some sort of dress shirt with dress pants. Um, but that's very important in the workplace because you can send an indirect message to those who you work with and to those who you're providing a service to, and you want to make sure it's positive. And then next, I want to talk about nonverbal communication in relationships. Your nonverbal communication cues, the way you listen, look, move, and react, tell the person you're communicating with whether or not you care, if you're being truthful, and how well you're listening. When your nonverbal signals match up with the words you're saying, they increase trust, clarity, and rapport. I really like the part where it says if your nonverbal signals match up with what you're saying, it creates trust. Um, you know, if you have a mother, you have probably told a little lie to her at one point or another as a small child or as a teenager, and they can just tell by the way you're behaving that you're lying. Um, and the fact that your words don't match up with what you're saying, it just gets rid of that trust. But if you are ever dating someone or you're married, if you match up the words with the way that you behave, you can just feel that connection. You can tell that it's true. And I really think that non-communication or nonverbal communication is very important. And I invite all of us to try and focus how we can improve on it within the workplace, and within relationships. And I share this TED Talk with you guys. Thank you for listening.